Canberra for Cavs Mortgage Minute on Thursday, February 7th. I was reading an article recently in the Wall Street Journal, and it brought to mind the condo crisis, as we allude to here in the media and the press. McLean's and everybody else seems to talk about it all the time, the condo meltdown in Vancouver, Toronto, and everything else. And this article was referring to the cost of condos in Manhattan. And its basic premise was that the median price of for a condo in Manhattan is the lowest it's been since 2004. And that now was the time that people should be jumping into the market to buy a condo there simply because of the great value they offered. Now, you're not going to probably see those headlines in Canada anytime soon because, like I said, we've got the crisis going on. We've got the meltdown, the bubble, the bursting, you name it. If you're, been living in a cave, you might not have heard about it, but if you're anywhere else, you probably know. According to the Canadian Real Estate Association, the average price of a home in December in Toronto was $501,361. Come across to the west, in Vancouver, it was $730,912. Now, why am I telling you this when I'm comparing to condos? Well, just bear with me, dear viewer. The bottom line is, now keep in mind, these are houses. They have walls, they have yards, there's no strata, there's no nothing else. It's your piece of dirt. Now, when you compare that to the median price in Manhattan for a two-bedroom condo, could you guess what that would be? $1.26 million. That's right, $1.26 million. Three-bedroom was $2.37 million, and a four-bedroom was $4.75 million. And adjusted for inflation, these are the lowest prices since 2004. Now, buyers are saying there's not enough affordable housing out there. However, when you take inflation into account, it would appear that the prices overall have declined. So, when you think of a average price of $2.37 million for a three-bedroom condo in Manhattan, I'm thinking Vancouver prices don't sound so bad. Neither do they in Toronto or Victoria or any one of our Canadian markets here. Those prices are pretty affordable. Now, some of you would say, hey, how dare you compare Manhattan to a place like Toronto? I mean, Manhattan's massive, it's all those things. I grant you that, but Toronto is the fourth largest market between US and Canada. So we're not talking an unfair comparison. And that's why when investors look at the markets and they look at Toronto, they look at Vancouver, that's why they scoop up real estate there, and that's why they're buying condos there or homes, because they look at them as a very affordable in relative terms to other major markets. Now, is that going to change anything here, or is our media suddenly going to start playing this sort of stuff up? Probably not. It's the headlines that are, exaggerated, that raise fear into the minds of people, that basically get people all nervous and anxious. Those are the headlines that sell. But every so often, we've got to take a look at things relatively speaking. Now, I'm not saying that our prices aren't going to correct further. I'm not saying you should rush out and buy a condo right away because it's such a great deal when you compare it to other markets. But what I am saying is, relatively speaking, we've still got affordability. Now, it may not be affordable for everyone, but worldwide or other larger markets, even within North America, our prices aren't that unreasonable. Now, what does this bode for the future? Hey, it's anybody's guess. It's, as I've said to you many times before, public perception is what drives the market a lot. And if our media keeps talking about the condo bubble, the bursting, and everything else, I guarantee you the prices will erode further because people's perception is that. But that was the purpose of my video today, is I wanted you to realize what the prices are in other places. And it's very important to do that. And the other thing that the Wall Street article had, it had a headline that it had in there from the New York Times, and it said, "Great scarcity in apartments. Never before has there been such scarcity of apartments on Manhattan Island." And the irony of it is that headline was from 1916. And it's cyclical how things go around. I'm sure at some point we're going to be having our media talking about what a great time it is to buy condos in Vancouver and Toronto and how the market's turning around. They were only talking about that just a few years ago. So that's their business. That's what they're in the business of doing. They're basically in either to sell magazines, sell advertising, or sell something. But what you need to do is keep an eye open and look at everything as comparative value. But with interest rates where they are right now and prices where they are, I mean, it's certainly a good time in the marketplace. Anyway, it's been Cam for Cam's Mortgage Minute. I hope I've shed some light on things for you. I'm always happy to get your feedback on things, so give me a call. And if you need help with mortgages, you know where to find us. It's the Auxilium team. We're always ready, able, and willing to help. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.